Firefighters were hurt last night after a fire in the city of Horicon. The fire department was called to East Lake Street around 6:45, where they found an active fire that could have spread to more buildings. Luckily, everyone made it out okay. Over a dozen agencies responded. Those two firefighters who were hurt were treated and are expected to make a quick recovery. People who lived in that building are being helped by the Red Cross. The cause is still under investigation.